Welcome to the orientation presentation of the Educator Evaluation and Support Plan. This presentation is brought to you by the State Department of Education in collaboration with the RESC Alliance and CAS. It is intended to provide you with an overview of the 2023 Connecticut Guidelines for Educator and Leader Evaluation and Support, along with an overview of the accompanying Connecticut Educator Evaluation and Support State Model Plan. Please feel free to reach out to your local RESC, CAS, or the State Department of Education contacts for technical assistance as you unfold the process in your district and schools. The contacts for each organization are listed at the end of the presentation. The development of the Connecticut Guidelines 2023 was the result of a collaborative effort among multiple stakeholder groups that comprise the State EES Council. The Connecticut Guidelines 2023 provides the framework for the development of the Connecticut Leader and Educator Evaluation and Support Plan, which emphasizes a continuous learning process for our leaders and educators to focus on areas of growth that ultimately support students that you serve. The driving vision for the Leader and Educator Evaluation and Support Plan is that all Connecticut educators and leaders have the opportunity for continuous learning and feedback to develop and grow, both individually and collectively, through the Educator Evaluation and Support System, so that all Connecticut students can grow. Notice a few key words that indicate a shift in practice: continuous learning, feedback, individually and collectively, and most importantly, growth. These are key shifts within the process of evaluation and support. Based in research and best practices from across the United States, the Connecticut Guidelines 2023 identifies 7 guiding principles which form the foundation for the development of the Evaluation and Support Plan model. These guiding principles include allowing for differentiated roles, simplifying the burden, focusing on things that matter, intentionally identifying high-leverage goals supported by meaningful connections to professional learning with a professional learning plan, focusing on educator growth and agency connected to best practices aimed at the development of the whole child, and most importantly, grounded in specific, timely, accurate, actionable, and reciprocal feedback. The Connecticut Guidelines 2023 include these 6 components. Each component includes non-negotiables and best practices. The non-negotiables are required in every district plan, while the best practices may be included over time in our innovative and visionary systems. Each component is similar for both educators and leaders, with differences found in the professional practice standards, multiple measures of evidence of growth and engagement, and requirements for observation of practice versus site visits. The Evaluation and Support Plan is designed as a continuous learning process and is nested in intentional, identified goals based on professional practice standards, which are accompanied by a professional learning plan. As you will see from this graphic, high-quality professional learning for educators develops an educator's knowledge, skills, and beliefs, which can then be applied to educator practice, ultimately improving student learning, growth, and achievement. The Connecticut Guidelines 2023 represent these 4 major shifts which have been taken from current research and best practices for educators and leaders. When implemented well, they will lead to high-quality professional practice. The first shift is agency and ownership, a move from individual compliance to collaborative practices. Building trust and commitment grows agency and ownership of the learning process. The second shift moves us from a single score to a focus on high-quality feedback, support, and growth through a continuous learning process. The third shift moves us from achievement-only goals or SLOs, to a focus on the whole child, as aligned to your district's vision or portrait of a graduate, allowing for high expectations for all. The fourth and final shift moves us from incremental improvement to innovation that transforms and sustains improvement. These shifts are brought to life with the continuous learning process. This one-page summary of the process shows the non-negotiables of 3 check-ins per year and a timeline for reflection and feedback within the process. Let's take a look at each check-in and the process. The first check-in, done prior to mid-October, is your goal setting. There are 3 steps in the goal setting process. First, you will begin with a self-reflection and evidence of your current educator practice. Once you have completed your self-reflection, analyzed your strengths, and identified your growth areas, you will draft a goal or goals based on professional practice standards, provide a rationale, alignment to district or school goals, and create an accompanying professional learning plan. In your goal-setting conference with your evaluator, you will mutually agree upon an individual or collaborative goal. Determine if it is a 1, 2, or a 3-year goal and the professional learning plan and support needed. An educator's goals are based on a set of agreed-upon professional practice standards. The ones identified here allow for differentiation of educator roles within a district or school. A single-point rubric is a best practice. The benefits of using a single-point rubric include the evaluator's ability to provide focused feedback and allows the evaluatee to focus on the feedback versus the score. As you consider your educator goals, you will apply one of the Guideline 2023 principles to seek what matters. In other words, identify a high-leverage goal. High-leverage educator goals are based on professional practice standards and are transferable across roles, disciplines, and positions, aligned to a strategic focus. For example, portrait of a graduate, skills and concepts. High-leverage strategies are research-based and have a high standard deviation of effect size, like those identified in Hattie's research. The focus on high-leverage goals allows you to consider a collaborative development process, as well as goals that span 1, 2, or 3 years. Once your goals have been mutually agreed upon with your evaluator, you are ready to schedule an observation of professional practice or review of practice. Depending upon your time within the district and your time within your role, you would either fall into Cohort 1 or Cohort 2. Cohort 1 is new to the profession within the first 4 years or new to the LEA for the first 2 years. Cohort 2 are educators who have successfully completed Cohort 1 in their current district. Whether you are in Cohort 1 or 2, you would have observations of professional practice or reviews of practice that focus on your identified goal that was mutually agreed upon and aligned to a professional practice standard. Once your observation or review of practice has occurred, you will receive reciprocal feedback, verbal and written, within 5 days. Your evaluator will focus feedback on your high-leverage goal, discuss with you your learning and impact on practice, and student learning growth and achievement, providing specific, timely, accurate, actionable, and reciprocal feedback. Through the dialogue, you will have an opportunity to self-reflect, monitor, adjust, and/or revise your professional practice goal and/or professional practice learning plan in collaboration with your evaluator based on evidence and feedback you both share. Your second required check-in comes mid-year. The mid-year check-in also allows you the opportunity for reflection, adjustment, and next steps. It's a time for you to review and discuss collected evidence towards high-leverage goals and educator practice at that moment in time. It's an opportunity for you to review your professional learning evidence and the impact it has had on your practice and student learning growth and/or achievement. The mid-year conference with your evaluator allows you both the opportunity to share and discuss evidence, reflections, and feedback from observations or review of practice and day-to-day work at that moment in time. Through reciprocal conversation, you can adjust and revise your goal and/or your professional learning plan as needed as you plan towards the remainder of the year and your third check-in. Your third check-in occurs at the end of the year. Like the mid-year check-in, it provides the opportunity for reflection and reciprocal dialogue of your professional learning, its impact on practice, and student learning growth and/or achievement at this point in time. Through self-reflection and dialogue with your evaluator, if you have a multiple-year goal, you may adjust, revise, and/or plan next steps that will lead you into the next year. Your evaluator will provide you with a written summary that includes the distinction of successful completion of the evaluation process. In order for an educator to successfully complete the evaluation process, their self-reflection must be supported with evidence in regards to the impact of their new learning on their practice and goal, and on student learning growth and achievement, as well as next steps. Two non-negotiables within the Connecticut Guidelines 2023 require all district plans to have tiered supports and a dispute resolution. Tiered supports are targeted professional learning supports to improve practice over time. Educators and evaluators thoughtfully consider and apply 3 tiers of support as appropriate within the evaluation process. All 3 tiers of support must be implemented prior to the development of a corrective action plan. The dispute resolution is a process to secure equitable solutions to the occasional disagreements that arise related to the evaluation process. Whether you have watched this orientation individually or in a facilitated group, this is an opportunity for you to pause and reflect on what you have learned, consider any questions that you may have, and what your next steps will be. The Connecticut State Department of Education, in collaboration with the RESC Alliance and CAS, are available to provide technical assistance to leaders, educators, and PDACs for any aspect of the Connecticut Leader and Educator Evaluation and Support Plan. Please feel free to reach out to any one of us. Wishing you all the best for an inspiring and successful learning, growing year.